to me, it's a farmers
Tell
league.
me right now the Serie A is a farmers league.
Serie A is a farmers league to me. Yeah, I
Oh
think
my
the
god.
Bundesliga is more competitive.
What?
So, hello everyone, welcome to the For the Badge podcast, our first episode on YouTube. But believe it or not, this isn't our first episode or our first podcast because we had a podcast on Spotify for the past year or so. Um, Despite not having consistent uploads, it was called Everything in Between parentheses the Sticks. So hopefully, you guys know what that podcast was, and if you came over from that podcast, welcome. We're generally gonna be doing the same thing except with our faces. Uh, we thought it'd be a little bit better to do it a little more variety that we can do on this, but generally talking about the same thing. So for the new viewers and listeners, my name is Elijah. Um, I'm a Chelsea fan. Live in Southern California. We're all college students. Yeah, I'm a Chelsea and LAFC fan. Primarily, I'm talking about Chelsea though, because mostly talking about European football. But we'll talk about MLS um, as time goes on, especially because of the playoffs coming up pretty soon. So, joining me is Andres and Diego. Andres, you introduce yourself.
Alright, I'm Andres. I'm a West Ham United fan. Best club in London, as we know. As of Wednesday, best club. Tied 1-1. Should have won, but it's fine. Yeah, so I'm a West Ham fan. I'm in college. Been doing this with Elijah for a year now. Well, except when we had our breaks. But looking forward to continuing it and doing constant uploads.
So, Diego, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Diego. I'm a big Tottenham fan. I'm not wearing the kit like the others because they didn't tell me we were going to be matching, so
It was a
it's kind
given.
of my fault.
It was a given.
But
Slacking.
Germany.
Slacking.
I still got the Germany, and yeah, no, I'm pretty new, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to doing some visual stuff with the boys as well, along with the talking some footy.
What are we doing?
The video. We're doing the
Okay.
video. Adding
All
the
right.
video.
Just had to clarify. Just had to clarify.
Uh-huh.
Just to let everyone know, we are American, so we'll call it soccer. We will call it football. We're gonna try to do our best to do football. But if we slip up here and there, we apologize. So yeah, so I mean, we try to do this, once a week, if not more, depending on what's happening in the football world. Pretty much going over, big topics, big events, headlines, Premier League fixtures, result and future fixtures, predictions, things like that. So yeah, so please, just take along for the ride. Subscribe if you can, and yeah. So first topic I want to discuss is the whole Paul Pogba situation. If you guys have not heard, he was involved in some, I don't want to say gang, but I'll say organized group. He wasn't involved, his brother technically was, but they tried to extort him from some money. Attempted apparently 13 million euro blackmail that his brother was involved in. So I'm just going to read this full story from this one account, this one Instagram post, and you guys can talk about it afterwards. The full story: between March 25th and 29th, when France hosted the Ivory Coast and South Africa in two friendlies, Paul Pogba visited his family in Langy-sur-Marne. I probably mispronounced that. His friends then took him to an apartment in Paris, where they accused him of not helping him financially since turning pro. In this meeting, two armed men asked Pogba for 13 million euros for, quote, services rendered, stating they had protected him discreetly for 13 years. Pogba told investigators that he saw these blackmailers on several occasions, including Manchester in April and Juventus' training ground in July. It was here in Turin where Pogba recognized his brother Mateus and then approached two of his lawyers, who decided to notify the police. During the investigation, Paul stated that he was always been close to his childhood friends and never hesitated to help them out financially until January, when he kicked out a friend that he was hosting in Manchester. The friend used Paul Pogba's credit card to steal 200,000. So yeah, what do you guys think?
It's crazy to think about. I mean, get blackmailed like that, saying that you
Yeah,
owe us, what is it, 13 million?
13.
Because what? They've protected you when you didn't ask them to, apparently. So, I mean, just sounds a bit sus, trying to scare him into it, but I don't think anything's gonna come of it in terms of Paul Pogba giving up money. I think they're probably gonna go to jail for a bit for threatening him. But
I mean,
Well, what-
yeah, it's complete BS. Like, what if he says no? They're gonna kill him, and there goes all their money. Like, I don't understand
literally.
what the
Like,
what the hell's
he's such a
gonna
big name that no one's gonna notice. Like,
yeah,
that
and
Allen
his
had
brother's
it.
a dick. So like, good job, little bro. Matthias.
Apparently, he also already paid 100,000 euros to them, which is not
Why?
million,
Does-
but
Why?
just through previous blackmail. Like he was just like, I guess to keep him quiet or to delay him, maybe.
So now, why is he coming out with it? I don't. That doesn't.
I mean, I don't know if he necessarily is. I think it's like the thing I read is lawyers alerted the police, and just because it's such a high-profile thing, it came out. But I'm also reading here that Paul Pogba told investigators the alleged extortionist wanted to discredit him by claiming he asked a witch doctor to cast a spell by killing Mbappe. Which I don't know if that's true.
Why would he? Why? He plays on the same team with him in the French national team. There's no reason why he would want to do that.
They don't play the same position, so it's not like he's taking his limelight at all. Different club teams. Both teams suck. Like, they're not going to suck in the way they're not going to the Champions League, I feel. They're not competition to each other. I don't know.
It's just
It's
so
like-
weird. Like, it's so random. Oh, what was it? A witch doctor?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
such
it's-
a random, I don't know, thing to come about, I guess.
I mean, if he did do it, then I'm baffled. But on either side, I'm like, what the heck?
I mean, I know it's a problem in. I don't know if you guys seen videos on it, but like, it's happened in like African leagues, where like people supposedly, cast a spell, like went to a witch doctor, and like that team that they cast a spell on, like lost, or like hit the post like numerous times and something
Well,
like that.
African league also has a lot of corruption, so
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
don't know.
it's still something to think about.
But also, like, you gotta look at a psychological side. It's like its culture is so much different in Africa than it is in Europe and America, where it's like they'll see signs that, like, oh, them hitting the post or their team losing as the witch doctor's spell or
True,
whatever
true.
actually
True.
working. But it just soccer is just a game that sometimes makes it so unlucky. No matter
Yeah.
how hard you try to make that ball go in, it won't go in.
And by coincidence, it happens to happen after a witch doctor
Yeah.
spell or something. I'm gonna read the quote that his brother said after all this came out towards Paul Pogba. So, quote, Paul, you really wanted to shut me up completely to lie and send me to prison. I suspected it, now it's true. My version of the facts happens, and unlike you, I have enough to prove my words and your lies. I'll tell you again, brother, manipulating people is not good. It's not about money. You implicated me in spite of myself. I almost died due to you. You left me in the hole while fleeing and want to play innocent. When everything is said, people will see that there is no bigger coward, traitor, and hypocrite than you on this earth.
that last line goes
Damn.
hard. By the way,
I know.
I'm just saying,
Ah.
like, if we're talking like some movie like epic, that he comes
Yeah.
back and kills his own brother at the end.
Yeah.
But what the hell is he
Dude.
talking about? You left me to die. Like, do we have
I
any
don't know.
context on that?
I don't know. 'Cause
Like,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm thinking that he's implying that he was on Pogba's side, if you will. Like, he was also being extorted for the money alongside Pogba. And Paul Pogba is trying to accuse him of being, like, with the gang instead, essentially leaving him behind. So, I don't know. Like I said, it's a weird thing to happen.
I mean,
You
I
don't expect
like-
family to do that
Yeah,
to
you
each
don't.
other.
Yeah, you don't. And I don't like Pogba. I just don't think his attitude's the greatest. But I also don't see him as the kind of guy that, like, I mean, first of all, he's probably a lot richer than his brother, because, I don't know where his brother plays, but not Man United, Juventus. And,
Right.
like, I only see where Matthias would want Pogba's money, but not the other way around. Like, I don't see
Right.
how, like, 13 million of Pogba is nothing. First of all,
Yeah.
let's just be straight here. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It was probably more like a moral thing, right? He didn't want to give it to these guys blackmailing him. But it's way more reasonable if it's his brother wanting to get
Yeah.
some of that money. I get that. I see that.
I'm looking at this too. Let's see, what did this say? Apparently, so the brother, Matthias Pogba, released a video on social media claiming that his brother had paid millions of euros to witch doctors over the years in order to avoid injury, and that, quote, these practices require you to do bad things for the rituals with a desire to do harm. What if in the end of all this, Paul Pogba is a bad guy? Like, what if in the end?
Wait, to avoid injury?
Yeah,
He still got injured.
Yeah.
I don't. That didn't work.
No.
Uh,
I
You
mean,
didn't get the right one doctor. You didn't get the right doctor.
Yeah.
Guess not. Just pay
No.
the guys the 13 mil if you're paying money for these ass witch doctors. Just pay the guys 13 mil. It's a better of spending your money.
Like, what if in the end we were told that he's the one that's in the wrong? Like, he has been paying his witch doctors and he comes out and admits it or something. I don't know. I feel like that'd be a wild revelation.
Yeah.
But yeah, well,
I mean, innocent until proven guilty. We'll see what happens.
I guess it's still unraveling. I guess investigators are still trying to figure out what's happening. Until there's a formal charge made, we won't figure out the full story, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think another topic I want to talk about is Bournemouth's sacking of their manager, Scott Parker. How do you feel about that?
Harsh. I mean, very harsh. I feel like there's more into it than just the football side of things because he got sacked last week, so there's only 4 games played in the Premier League. And if you look at Bournemouth's signings in the transfer window, they didn't bring in anyone big. So it's like, it's harsh to sack him just like that and not giving him time to gel with the team because he coached the team in 2021. So he's only been with the team for about a year. So it's like, it's very interesting to sack your manager 4 games into the season without giving him a shot to try and hope that he finds his feet in the league and see what he can do with the team.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand. Okay, you lose how many games? So 3 games? You're 1-0-3 when he's being sacked, right? And I understand, like, he's newly promoted. You're probably gonna have a bad start. It's just a given, right? And I don't necessarily understand them being sacked in general after 4 games, no matter who they lose to. But the 3 losses were to Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool.
And I just want to add, didn't West Ham and Leicester both have 3 losses to start the season?
Yep.
So, or Leicester maybe 3 losses now. Maybe they didn't start with 3, but they were never gonna fire Moyes and Rodgers for that.
No.
And they have a better team. So why the hell are you doing it to Bournemouth? I just don't get it. Scott Parker was absolutely given the short end of the stick there and completely unfair to sack him. I don't know what the hell.
Leicester, I mean, if you're looking at it from the perspective of the Bournemouth board, Brendan Rodgers is more qualified, I guess, to get sacked because he he drew with Brentford, lost to Arsenal, lost to Southampton, lost to Chelsea, lost to United. I don't know. I think it's unfair. Leicester also played in the EFL. I think it's the Carabao Cup. They went to penalties with Stockport. Yeah. And I think it's really telling of the team they are now.
Yeah.
But
I think someone should go get Scott Parker because I think he is a good manager.
Yeah, I think he brought them back to promotion, back to the Premier League.
Yeah. He needs another chance because Bournemouth's just not cool.
I don't know. I mean,
Is there more to play here than just football? Do you think something happens with the owner, the board, and Scott Parker disagreeing?
It's a petty sacking, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Scott Parker wasn't happy with the board and the transfer window and not backing him with money, so he complained. And because you look at the signings Bournemouth made, I think 5 players, and they're not good.
Right.
So, and looks like their team at the moment, if you look at their squad on paper, it looks like a team that knows they're not going to be in the Prem for more than 1 season. So they're kind of pulling like a Fulham, like what Fulham have done in the past, and just kind of went up to the Prem, got the money from all the sponsorships and television casts, and then just dropped back down to go back to the Championship.
Yeah.
So it looks like that's what the board was aiming for in terms of the financial side. And then personally, I think Scott Parker wasn't happy with it and actually wanted to prove the type of manager he is and wanted to try and keep Bournemouth up. And the board was just trying to get a cash grab, and that's when they decided to sack him and said, you use the excuse of those 3 losses as a way to get rid of him.
That's fair. I mean, so you think it's more like because the board didn't back him, he wanted to I just wasn't
Yeah,
gelling well.
Yeah, it wasn't gelling well, and I think the board got sick of him and said, you know what, let's take this opportunity to can him. So they did.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
Yeah, I have to agree. It can't have all been football, because otherwise that's one of the worst decisions I've seen in management.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? I mean, he could have been the thing that would have kept him up. Like if they could get another manager and doesn't work out, and they get relegated because of it, and the discussion will always be, well, what would have happened if we kept him in position?
Yeah.
So where does Scott Parker go from here, though? Do you reckon he goes back down to the championship to
He
coach
replaces
side?
Brendan Rodgers when Brendan Rodgers gets fired.
They just switch.
Brendan Rodgers has been
Swap.
ass,
They just-
but
yeah,
no one's
they just-
saying, no one's talking about him, but he's been horrible.
It's true. It's true. Okay, do you think that could be part of the board not giving him the money he wants, him not doing anything with the money he has?
Lack of
Brendan
ambition?
Rodgers?
Brendan Rodgers? Or are you
Yeah.
talking?
Brendan Rodgers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, all I'm saying is, I think at some points the team just doesn't mesh with the manager. It happens, and I think it's fair to say. I mean, transfers as well. I think Leicester had a horrible transfer window, but besides that one defender they signed, who's supposed to be the Fofana replacement, so we'll see if that pays off. But like besides that, like no movement, and their look stale in their tactics, and they just. I watched them play Southampton.
Yeah.
They didn't look particularly great. James Madison had a good free kick, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And like they sacked Ranieri, the guy who won in the Prem title. They sacked him in his second season after a poor run of form. So like, all I'm saying is just because Rodgers won a cup title with them doesn't mean he's safe at all.
Yeah,
So.
definitely. It's against us too. Undeserved.
I mean, we made the point in one of our old podcasts, on the last podcast we did, not this current one, but we made the point of Shermichael leaving the club during preseason. I forgot, I think was it Elijah that said it, in which he said he saw the team and said, "Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't want to
I
go
mean,
down." So
that-
he left.
Maybe we don't know that's exactly what happened, but I feel like that can be assumed because him being team captain. I'll just reiterate the point I made last week. Him being team captain, leaving during the preseason, it wasn't a premeditated move or anything. He chose to leave after seeing his team and thought it'd be better for me to move to Nice, a mid-table club in France, than stay in the Premier League. I don't know. It's not looking good for Leicester. We all know that.
I mean, they only
Fofana-
made 2 signings.
Yeah, and losing Fofana. I mean, good on them because they made what was the total, like 150, 160 for Harry Maguire and Fofana together. Like, I think that's pretty good.
They have
But
the
they're not using the funds. Yeah, exactly. They're not using the funds.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they need the money to pay off some loans or something. We don't know the
Some
finances,
debt.
but
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, but still, like they haven't
Right.
done well, and they needed to.
Yeah.
It was pretty obvious they needed to, and they still haven't.
Yeah.
And you can't make the argument that you're gonna wait until the winter transfer window, because that's stupid. Because by the time you get there, you're almost halfway through the season,
Yeah.
and it's hard
Right.
to make a team come around by buying all these new players. It's hard to get them like all grouped together and ready to go to turn
Yeah.
results around.
Yeah, especially if you are knowing you might be a relegation candidate. By then, it could be too late to turn these around, and that's why you need to make signings now.
Right now, they're 1 point. They have 1 point, and they're bottom of the table.
Yeah.
Like going into week 6. So it's like game 6. So it's like doesn't look too good. Does anyone know who Leicester are playing?
I do not. They are playing Brighton
Villa. Oh,
Brighton? Oh, that's a loss for them.
Brighton?
Sunday.
yeah, it's a loss.
So I mean,
they're
they're
gonna
playing.
probably.
I'll give you the next 5. They're playing Brighton, Villa, Tottenham, Nottingham Forest, and Bournemouth.
There's
I
some
think
winnable
they-
games in there for them.
I think they can get
They
something
have
against
winnable
Villa.
games.
I think they can get something against Bournemouth.
Hey,
But-
Nottingham Forest doesn't look too bad. To like in terms of like getting a point against them, because they got smacked
Yeah.
against City on the weekend. No, sorry, on Wednesday.
I mean, it's City.
Yeah,
True.
I think
City,
everyone's gonna
right?
get smacked by City.
But like
Yeah.
they already dropped Lingard, their big signing they dropped from the team. So
I mean, they have so many players. They still need to get to know each other. I think they'll. I think as the season goes on, they'll do better.
Yeah, it'll be an improvement over
Um,
time.
but I think I agree with Just for now. They're a little shaky just because they need to get used to each other, and that could mean points for other teams.
Yeah. Okay, before we talk more about the Premier League, I'm going to talk about Marseille player Bamba Dieng. Still Marseille player. So let me just recap the events of Delende that Fabrizio Romano said was the story of the day. So Bamba Dieng plays for I think Senegalese player, I think. Plays for Marseille. Had a verbal agreement to join Leeds United in the Premier League. Goes to the airport for the flight, where then OGC Nice makes an offer for him in the French league. He then rejects Leeds, flies to France, or he's already in France, he's in Marseille, but travels to Nice for his medical, fails the medical, and he's still in Marseille. So many things to happen there, only for him to end up at the club he returned to. And, yeah, like...
awkwardness.
Yeah, imagine bringing his teammate in the locker room when he comes back, in the dressing room. How do you react?
Oh, did you forget your? No, I'm sorry. I'm staying.
Do you welcome him back with open arms, or do you have some resentment, or like?
I don't know. How did he leave the club? Was he on good terms?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Did he force the move?
I don't want to say he. The way it seems to me is, he didn't necessarily force the move. It's just an offer came in, the club and player wanted to accept. Another one came in, and then it just didn't work out. I mean, that's my thing too. Is I don't think, because he didn't necessarily force anything like that. He wasn't like, get me out of here. At least I don't think. Or there wasn't a previous transfer request. I wouldn't necessarily be mad at him. It's just circumstance.
Right.
So I don't know.
Would you be mad? All right, let's look at it through its agent's perspective. Because would the agent be mad that he canceled the move to Leeds, in which he probably would have been able to complete, and then he changed his mind at the last second to go to the other club, and then he failed his medical? Like, would you be mad from an agent perspective because of the last minute change didn't allow enough time for the deal to get done?
Maybe. I mean, maybe the agent did. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I mean, agents have two things in mind. They want to help the players and they want to get paid. So depends on exactly what their priority is. But if you want to get paid, getting a transfer fee and all that, and like getting an agent fee, that's gonna get you paid. So he might be annoyed at not getting paid, I think. But at the end of the day, I think the most annoyed is gonna be the clubs. I think Leeds are gonna be annoyed, for sure. They wanted to back up to Bamford because Bamford's injured like 50% of the season, and they didn't get it, even though they thought they did. And Nice might be annoyed. I don't know how badly they wanted him, but they might be annoyed as well because he failed his medical.
Yeah. Well, what I'm reading, I don't know how true this is. This is a comment on Instagram. Some dude, so this could be entirely false. But someone said apparently Leeds had him sitting in the airport for hours, and then when he heard Nice wanted him, he said, "F this," and left the airport and signed for them. So apparently Leeds did him dirty, leaving him at the airport.
Why did they have him waiting for that long?
I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me.
But what does it mean by waiting in the airport though? Like, are you just like in Leeds, England, and then you're just there?
Well,
like
he was in the airport at Marseille, and I don't know. Maybe just Leeds didn't send a plane for him or something, or he's waiting for his.
Well, they still trying to decide if they want to like go through with it. They're like,
no, because that doesn't make any sense on a football. You don't have a player go to the airport when you're still deciding, oh, are we gonna sign this player or not? You have a player go to the airport when you know you're gonna sign him. So it's like, I feel like he may have got like cold feet and said, you know what, no, I'm gonna stay. Or maybe he was getting more money and said, all right, forget Leeds, I'm gonna go over here. And then he changed his mind.
Yeah.
And then he's stuck at the club that he originally was at. I feel like from a footballer, like a teammate perspective, seeing your teammate who was supposed to leave come back, and you're like, oh, you're back, cool. It's a bit awkward, I feel, because you expect them to leave, and then you, like a player in his position, you're like, all right, I get my chance now to prove what I can do. And then so it's going to be a very interesting dressing room in terms of his position. He's a striker, right?
Yeah.
So the strikers on Marseille are going to be a bit annoyed, I have a feeling, about the failed transfer because
I
they
agree.
thought they were going to get a shot.
I agree.
He could have also just wanted to stay at France. Like, some players like to stay in a certain country. He might have just wanted to stay in France.
Yeah, he probably would have gotten more game time, more starting game time at least.
Yeah.
More chance to make his mark for him to have a bigger move later on. But who knows? So, all right. So I think the last topic we're going to talk about here is the different transfers in the Premier League. We're going to go by team, as in like our own team. So I'm talking about Chelsea. They will talk about Tottenham. I'll just talk about West Ham, and then we're going to mention a few just outliers that I want to talk about afterwards. So I guess I'll start with Chelsea, and I think it's really summed up by one thing here. About what? So I think that was the most recent signing we made. The sign I'm most excited about. Overall, though, I'm gonna give our transfer window an 8.5.
No way.
8.5?
Get out of here.
Let me hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, hear me out. Okay. So
What?
I'm gonna go by player. Okay. Let me just recap everyone we signed. Okay. Raheem Sterling, Kalidou Koulibaly, Cucurella, Fofana, Aubameyang, Zakaria. But on top of that, okay, those alone, I'd give 7.5, 7.5. But we brought in a lot of youth prospects, so which is what is giving me 8.5. Amari Hutchinson from Arsenal.
How do you? No, I'm sorry. How do you give youth prospects who aren't even gonna play
because
an extra point?
Because Andres, we prepare for the future. We have a future, so I'm excited for it because we brought Amari Hutchinson from Arsenal, great player. Eddie Beach from Southampton. Gabriel Salinina, who's lighting up the MLS right now. Very well could break. Is it the clean sheet record? I don't know if he's still in contention for a bet. At one point he was able to break. He was on track to break the clean sheet record. Carney Chukwuemeka, I forgot to pronounce his name. Really good from Aston Villa for 20 million. Really promising winger. Zach Sturridge from Brighton. Tyler Dibling from Southampton. Cesar Casadei? Is that Casadei? I don't know how to pronounce his name. From Inter Milan for 16 million. So when you put those in front of you, those are all potential future stars. At least a good few of them are. We'll see what Chelsea does with them. More than likely, we're going to ruin them. But I don't know. I think it's very promising, and that's giving me the extra 1 point over. On top of the big signings we had for sliding for the first team, which I love, by the way. I think Aubameyang changes a lot. It doesn't transform the whole team, but it changes a lot for us. David, you have your turn. You have your turn, please. I think replacing Marcos Alonso with Marco Correa, brilliant. Kalidou Koulibaly, brilliant. Raheem Sterling up top has done a lot for us. He's been a bright spot in a rather dismal season so far. Fofana, I think we overpaid for by a lot, but I think because we're paying 10 million a year over 7 years, so that's not in full. I think it's great because 10 million to us is like not much. If we're paying 10 million, it's not going to be breaking the bank, you know. I think he's going to be great, and I think Dennis Zakaria is a defensive midfielder that we very much needed because Jorginho is disgusting right now.
What Chelsea fans were all saying was the best midfielder on the planet?
I wasn't. I'm just going to say I wasn't. Okay. He has his moment.
Can I just say
he's past his moment?
I just want to add, how can you give that window an 8 out of 10 when one injury to Aubameyang and you're back to being where you are now, right now? Where are you? 6th, 7th? How can you name that an 8 out of 10 chance window if one injury to Aubameyang, he's out for a month, you're back to your usual front? I don't care if your defense is good. It's obvious your defense is good, but your offense would be the exact same it's been. How can you call it an 8 out of 10 window? I just don't see that.
I think you're making off one player. I think given, not looking at injuries. Okay, I think could you say it's 8.5 out of 10 if injuries didn't exist? If Aubameyang has gone to these witch doctors like Pogba has, and he won't be getting injuries.
No, I wouldn't call it 8 out of 10 because Aubameyang, Koulibaly are not long-term players at all. So this is like a Band-Aid, and a Band-Aid is not a top thing.
I don't think necessarily. I think Koulibaly has a good few years in him. I mean, you look at Thiago Silva. How old is he playing?
Yeah,
in top
Thiago
level?
Silva is a different breed. That's not Thiago
Well,
Silva
he-
is not somebody you can compare
He
to
is, but
Koulibaly. I'm not
Koulibaly-
saying Koulibaly can't be,
Right.
but you can't say he will be. Like you can't say in 5 years he'll still be playing. Who knows?
No.
He could have only 2 years.
Right, but the good thing about Chelsea is that we have our prospects everywhere, and we have the ability to get those young players when we want them to realize that, Koulibaly is not going to be. Let's say he has one.
Yeah, but you said it yourself. We're probably gonna ruin them. So it's like,
No, I meant the young players. The young player, like the. Oh, I mean that's what you mean though.
yeah.
Like-
So it's like, so what about the young players? Only one of your players from the academy has risen the ranks, and that was Mason Mount. And now he's just bang average. He hasn't done
Well-
anything that's great.
Well, him and Chalaba.
Okay.
The guy
So
you guys
I mean,
think
they're
of
still on
selling.
top.
The guy you're thinking of selling, like the transfer.
We're still using him. I mean, there wasn't really any opportunities for him to leave. Because
But you were thinking. It's not like he was untouchable.
I mean, I think any player is not untouchable right now.
Thiago Silva's not untouchable to you guys?
I mean, no one's gonna buy him. That's the only thing. He's untouchable.
But,
because
okay,
no one's gonna want to
wait,
touch him.
that's not my
no,
question.
well,
That's
I
not
mean-
my question.
I mean, like, he doesn't need to be untouchable because no one wants to touch him. Whoa, that sounds wrong. But
Uh-huh.
like,
Oh.
no one's gonna want to buy him, so I think it's fine. I think only the players we brought in are untouchable right now. I don't think, and maybe Mason Mount, and I think everyone else is open to leaving at some point. Jorge
I
needs to be
just-
gone.
I-
I think maybe Kovacic we keep. Mendy, honestly, I give him 1 or 2 years and he's gone. So
I'm with Andres. I don't think it's an out of 10 window at all.
It's a 6. It's a 6.
Yeah,
out of 10
I think a
window.
6 is a good rating. Yeah, I give it a 7 if Aubameyang and like Fofana like have good form, but like Zakaria's alone, he's not a midfield fix, so you're still gonna be relying on Jorginho, and then Conte, who's injured a lot, even though when he plays he's good, and Kovacic. Who I don't even know what I think about Kovacic. He's I don't know, he's weird. He looks impressive one game and then he doesn't play for like the next 4. So all I'm saying is it's not an 8, but that's me. That's me.
all right, well, fine. We have a different opinions. Okay, hold on. Go first.
Andres,
All
go
right,
ahead.
so now it's West Ham's turn. From my perspective as a West Ham fan, this window has been fantastic for us compared to previous seasons. This has been the best window I've ever seen as a West Ham fan. I feel as a West Ham fan, some West Ham fans disagree, but I feel like this window fits everybody, like puts the team together and fixes all the holes that we had in the past. We got Ugard from Morocco. He got injured during preseason, but his one game he played during preseason, he looked really good. He'll be back in October. Areola we signed on a permanent deal. I mean, we locked down our goalkeeper for the next couple years. Flynn Downs is a potential replacement for Declan Rice if he ever leaves. I sure hope he doesn't leave, but if he ever does, Flynn Downs is a young prospect who David Moyes is developing, who could be our next Declan Rice. Skamaka, a brilliant striker so far. The games he's played, he looks really good. Great competition for Antonio, and I mean, Antonio's looks better now that he has competition. With that assist he had with Souček against Spurs, he looked top class with that pass. Maxwell Cornet, who we signed from Burnley, looks amazing. It looks like because he didn't play preseason, he's taking a little bit to get like match quickness, match sharpness. So it's going to take him a bit, but he looks like he's a solid switch around for Bowen whenever they need to switch out. Thilo Kehrer. Now Thilo Kehrer, I mean, he was a replacement because of Ugard, who got injured. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering his name, but Kehrer looks amazing the games he's played. And yes, he gave a penalty in his first game, scored an own goal against Spurs. But I mean, Spurs, that was probably going to get a tap in for Son if it gets past him. But I mean, Kehrer looks fantastic. He's been my man of the match for the last 2 games that we played in. So I think Kehrer could potentially be a solid center back who we only got for like, how much did we get him for? Undisclosed fee, but I think it was like 10 million. 10 million.
I'm seeing 13 million here.
13 million? I mean,
Yeah.
that's great money. And then we got Emerson from Chelsea, who's a solid left back choice for Cresswell. I feel like Cresswell's played better now that Emerson's here, but I feel like Emerson's a better solution down the road. He's 27, I think. So we signed him on a 3-year deal. And then we got Lucas Paqueta from Leon, who's amazing. I love that guy. We signed him on a 5-year contract with a 1-year
You say amazing.
extension.
You never even seen him play.
No, I've seen him play against Spurs, and I love that man already.
He barely touched the ball. He touched like 3 times.
It doesn't matter. He made Spurs look silly. I love that man already, and I can't wait to see what he does on tomorrow against Chelsea if he plays. But I think overall this window's a 9 out of 10 if we're giving it a solid ranking because of the players we signed are young, and we signed them for long-term contracts. I can see like this team going farther along. It's taken a little bit for our team to like mesh because of all the new signings, but I feel like with Moyes and the coaching staff they have and Declan Rice as the captain will bring them all together, and I think we'll be in a good shape later down the season. I think this week we found our footing, and I'm hoping it carries on to Saturday. And even if we lose tomorrow, then I feel like it's not that bad because of the opponents we face after Chelsea. So I feel like it's a good window, and I'm looking forward to the next window too, because we can always sign more players, but I think we're good for now.
Okay. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree. So
I think
nothing controversial for me.
I think the youthfulness of West Ham signings are
I fell.
real professional.
Shut up! It's my phone almost died. That's why I'm here. Don't worry, I'll be better next podcast.
All right. I was just say I think the youthfulness of West Ham signings are really good. I think that's important because it allows you to have somebody for that position for at least a good 3 years, and if they stay longer, that's great. If they move on, that's fine. But I think that's always good. So yeah, I can't really say no against the 9 out of 10, even if I'm like, okay, I think I can't say no like that. So that's fair. Yeah.
Let's go! I'm actually happy that I didn't get ridiculed this time because usually I get bashed on. Nothing controversial from my end so far on the podcast.
It's a first.
It's a first. First times for everything. On the first episode of the first podcast, nothing controversial. Just wait until the second one. There'll be something controversial.
Oh yeah.
Alright, deal. Last one.
Okay. Man, I think I gotta give a lot of credit before I start reading it. I gotta give a lot of credit to getting our deals done early in the transfer window, because Daniel Levy is not known for that. He's actually known for the very opposite, panic buying a lot at the end. And thankfully, a mixture of Conte and Fabio Paratici, if you haven't heard of him, director of football at Tottenham, absolutely incredible. He's changed our transfer windows for the past 2 seasons now, and hopefully he's here for another 10 years because he's been phenomenal. He got us Kulisevsky and Bentancur during January, which was insane, and now he's doing bits again with our transfer window. He's been excellent. So he's the reason why we're here now and why I'm going to give a good rating. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, and I think this is a much more worthwhile 8 out of 10. So here's why. I think we got to start with first our free transfers. Fraser Forster, backup goalkeeper. Backup goalkeeper, free. He's good. He had a great game against Arsenal, I think, last season, which people are like, oh my god, I forgot how good he was. That's not bad. It's good. Ivan Perisic, probably top 3 left wing backs in the world. You haven't watched Inter Milan. He was incredible for Inter Milan last season.
Hey,
he was incredible for.
Can I
finish?
Kufal had him in his pocket the whole game.
Can I finish?
Yeah, you can finish.
Can I finish? Okay. So he has already I think one of the tied for most goal contributions from a defender. And he's played 2-3 games. And let's see, he's just so 2-footed that he takes corners with both feet. What other player does that? No one. So I think he may be a top 3 left wing back in the world. I think Inter Milan fans, they're raving about him. Of course, they're going to be biased. but I do think he's very, very good and very underrated. Even people are like, oh, 33. Yes, he's older, but he is a phenomenal player. Free transfer, by the way. So I'll keep reiterating that. Loan transfer, long. Well, probably because his contract was running out and he wanted to.
Oh, yeah,
I think
but...
that's why. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
Langley from Barcelona.
That's pretty solid.
Excellent signing. If he gets his form back, he could be very good. He's a great rotation spot for Ben Davies on that left center back position, and his ball playing ability is phenomenal. Like it's actually so good. It's probably the best of our back line, and I want to see him play because his pings across the pitch are phenomenal. So as a loan, very pleased with that. Now let's get into the actual money spent deals. Jed Spence and Destiny Udogie, two young wingbacks on both sides, one right, one left. Udogie went on loan back to Udinese, so we won't see him for another year. But people calling him like a wonder kid for Udinese. He's been excellent. So I can rave about him when I see him play for Tottenham. But Jed Spence looks like an absolute beast. Going to be our future right wing back. Already think about the future there. So great. He's like 21, so plenty of years ahead of him. He's gonna be great. Yves Bissouma, possibly the deal of the window. We're talking value for money.
I like that one.
We got him for about 35 million, maybe less, maybe 30 million. He is genuinely one of the best players outside the top six, and he was incredible for Brighton. He's gonna be incredible, and for 30 million, he could have easily gone for 50, for 60. But
Do you think his whole scandal was the reason he was so cheap?
It could be, but considering the fact that the cops didn't find anything, no authorities didn't see anything wrong,
Right.
or didn't come up with anything. I want to say it was more one of those that he wanted to move, and I think his contract was running down. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was. So Brighton let him leave, and considering the fact that Brighton took Kudea for more, I think that's for 30 million more. So I think Bissouma is an excellent deal, and that's Paratici at his best right there. Finding a good transfer for a position we needed, 100% excellent. And then the last two, I think Romero was the last one because technically he was a loan, so we signed him permanently. I mean, there's more I need to say about Romero. He's going to be the best center back in the league in a year or two. He's already top 5. So
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Romero's top 5 center back in the league.
Hey yo, forget about me.
I can't
Diego's
be
being
serious.
extra controversial
No, I'm being-
today,
I can't
bro.
be serious.
Hold up. What have I said before, Romero, that you disagree with?
Huh?
Nothing, right? I'm just saying, as a Tottenham fan, watching him play, he is miles above any other center back in our back line. He's our best center back.
Well, okay, for Tottenham.
That's
sure.
easy to do
And
for Tottenham.
And
Yeah, you got Eric Dyer in your back line.
I mean,
Eric Dyer's good. Okay, all right. He's not great, but he's good. But that's not the point. Romero, people don't realize he's one of the reasons why Argentina won the Copa America, along with what's his partner, Lisandro Martinez. I think them two were the back line for Argentina. They won the Copa America. They hadn't conceded a goal for like 9 hours or something like that, like 10 hours playing together. You don't believe me now? It's fine. You don't have to believe me. Next year, when we give him some more time to develop in the Prem, because he's already great. Give him some more time. He's gonna be on your list as one of the best center backs in the league.
you know,
But it's fine.
I hope
You don't see it
someone
now.
clips this and then
Oh, I will.
montages it with
Yeah.
with a bunch of fails he has, and then be like, and then send it
Gladly,
to you. I really
gladly.
hope that happens.
I just for the record, Romero is better than any West Ham center back, and I stand by that 100%. 100%.
No, I would agree. I can agree with that one.
I'd completely disagree. Kara's
See-
better than him.
Oh my god!
We just signed the man.
Did Kara win Serie A MVP?
No,
Like,
my
or
man
the
played for
player of the year,
PSG,
whatever.
and he's a regular for Germany. I mean, my man.
By default.
But
No, but
who's-
still, he's
who's
solid.
Germany's defenders?
Yeah.
Mats Hummels
Kara.
is 35.
That's almost.
Kara. Hey,
All right.
hey, don't disrespect my man Kerr. We got Ogbonna. Zuma, don't disrespect Zuma.
Wait, did you say Ogbonna?
He's solid. He's coming back from ACL injury, but he's solid. He's not the greatest, but he's solid. And then Zuma, don't disrespect Zuma like that. I don't want to hear it.
The cat kicker? Get out of here. No, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to no animal abuser, okay?
Yeah,
terrible. And then don't even disrespect my boy Craig Dawson like that. Don't even.
What?
Craig Dawson. I love that man.
Remember, he's gonna be a top center back. We paid $55 million for him. He's gonna show you why we paid $55 million for him. But we'll move on from that. Apparently, some people found that controversial. Sorry,
ridiculous.
Before we finish the podcast, Dale, I'm gonna name you some left wing backs, and I want you to
say.
Wait,
I didn't done talk about transfers. You know that, right?
Oh, I thought we were done.
Richarlison. I didn't talk about Richarlison.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, just let me finish up.
It's just so insignificant.
Okay, hold on. Let me just finish up quick. Richarlison.
Oh my God.
I just want to talk about Richarlison for a little bit because he rattled the Premier League or some fans, some sensitive fans the other day against Nottingham.
I would have kicked his. I would have been sent off.
Fine.
I would have two-footed
I'm saying
that man.
I'm not against you tackling him because you're mad. That's fine. I'm just saying don't get mad that he's showboating. Elijah brought up a good point we were talking earlier. Ronaldo did it. Neymar did it. No one says a thing about them. Neymar's more criticized for his rolling around on the ground. They're not criticizing him for his skills. So if Richarlison's doing it in a 2-0 lead in the 85th minute to waste time because he knows the defenders will get angry and take him out, I don't see that's smart. That's actually a good thing. So Jamie Carragher getting mad about it, whatever. I'm going to say what Richarlison said. Cry more, okay? I don't want to hear it. Richarlison has been excellent. He's changed the game. He's actually been better than Son to start the season, so he's been really, really good. And I think
it's more of a dig on Son.
It's more like Son, pick it up. We need you to start performing. We know you want to go to boot, but you need to win it again or something. Come on. So, all right, I'm done now.
Do you need to go? Or you want me to do this?
You want to talk about left wing backs? You said. Yeah. So go on.
You're fine. Okay, because it's 4:02. So.
Okay. Oh no, go ahead. Go. We got time.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna name some left wing backs, and I want you to tell me if they're better or not. If Ivan Perisic is better than these left wing backs.
My man.
Okay.
I'm on something different today.
So.
Yeah. Hit me.
Let's go with. Well, I'm just gonna start with Cucurella. Cresswell. Okay, it's
Cucurella. I mean, I think they're pretty even. Okay. I'll put it pretty even. I think Cucurella is probably a better defender, but Perisic is better offensively.
I can agree with that.
Alphonso Davies.
Oh, come on.
I don't know, man. Alphonso Davies doesn't even start for Bayern sometimes. He sometimes.
He's their starting left back. He's just hurt all the time.
I'm gonna have to put Perisic above Alphonso Davies. Yeah.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I'm not saying Davies won't be there, but Perisic, his offensive game is so finely tuned. He can cut in, shoot from outside, cross with his left, cross with his right.
Scores left and right.
I think Ivan Perisic is more of a left winger than left wing back, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, that's what he's played for the past 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
That's what he is. That's what he is.
Okay, so on par with Cucurella, better than Alphonso Davies, Andrew Robertson.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Andrew Robertson, everybody thinks he's the best left back in the Prem. So I don't know, he's kind of been doing it in the Prem for so long, and he's been so good for so long. I can't really say Perisic is better than him. I like Perisic a lot, but I mean, you put Robertson in any team, he immediately upgrades that position. So yeah, even though I hate his guts, I'm gonna have to respect him and just put Robertson above him.
I'll give you one more. Rafael.
Better than Aaron Cresswell. Sorry, what?
Yeah, it's a given. I don't even say that. Rafael Guerrero from Borussia Dortmund.
That's not fair. I don't watch Guerrero. I can't. I don't like the judge.
Well, let me give you some stats. Because he's been with them for about 6 years now.
He's been for
171 games, 171 games, and at his position, he's scored 32 goals and assisted 33 times.
Well, the thing is, Perisic has more goals and assists probably. So, like I look at his
On
stats.
the statistical.
Okay, from 2015 to 2022, for Inter Milan, he has, was that 22, 30, 34, 42, 51 goals. And what is that? About like 6 years, 7 years? So already more goals. And I don't even like to rate wingbacks on goals because that's not all they do. They're a lot more than that. But if we're just talking goal contributions, which you brought up, I think he's better than Rafael Guerrero.
But he did it in a farmers league though. At least.
Serie A? What?
Yeah.
No. Wait, are we talking about
Farmers
Guerrero or
No.
or Perisic?
Serie A is not a farmers league. What?
Yes.
Are you serious?
To me, it's a farmers league. No, to me, it's a farmers league.
Tell me right now that Serie A is a farmers league.
Serie A is a farmers league to me. Yeah,
Oh
I think
my
the
God.
Bundesliga is more competitive.
What?
So the Bundesliga is more competitive.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
Okay.
No, that's embarrassing for the rest of us.
Serie A is
That really
literally the
is.
third best league in the world.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Third. What's second?
La Liga.
I mean, only La Liga just because Barcelona and Real Madrid are so good, but I would put
I don't
Serie
know. This is my opinion. I feel like it's a farmers league.
A. So what's France to you?
Farmers league.
Yeah. So wait, so,
But you look
so
at all-
but by the way you're talking is you're ranking Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, France, or France
Yeah.
Serie A?
No, Serie A France. So fourth.
How can you call Bundesliga better when Bayern Munich are literally dominating?
Well, the thing is with Serie A, it's
Constantly.
like it switches in between like 3 different teams, but at the same time, you have a rough idea who's gonna win. Like, yeah, sure, you could say the same thing about. I mean, the Prem is like City's gonna win, and like Bayern's obviously gonna win the Bundesliga. But I feel like I watch the Bundesliga and I'm more entertained than Serie A. So
I
think it's
will
different,
add. I
though.
think. Sorry, I just want to say. I think Serie A is known for having a bit more defensive tactics from teams. I think people tend to say that, which I think is why it's less entertaining. But it doesn't mean that it's worse. It actually means that they're just that's how they play. And I would argue that you put the fourth place team in Serie A against the fourth place team in Bundesliga, the fourth place team in Serie A is destroying that fourth place Bundesliga team every day, all day, 100%.
I mean, you can look at it though. Like, just look at Champions League. Like the teams that come from Serie A versus the teams that come in the Bundesliga. Usually, the teams in the Bundesliga do better than the teams in Serie A. So,
That's not true.
like
That's not
Bayern
It's
does
not.
better than
Just
any Serie
Bayern,
A
though.
team.
Just Bayern.
Just Bayern.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
all you can
Dortmund
say.
did great last year too.
Overall, though, Serie A, I think like Roma versus Barcelona. Juventus always gets there. I mean,
Inter Milan
Inter Milan are gonna be there.
are going to be. I think they'll be really good this year with Lukaku back and all that. AC Milan just won the league. We're going to see them. I just can't agree with that Bundesliga statement.
I can't agree at all.
I can't.
No,
I can't.
that's disgusting. That is.
Gotta keep
So-
it controversial from my end.
I,
So I got it too.
you had to add one in there.
Yeah.
So just to finish it up, I think Perisic. I think what you gave me. I mean, if not top 3, then top 5. But you gave me examples, and I feel like I was pretty accurate in my assessment.
So unbiased.
No, it's biased, but I mean, it's true.
All right.
It's true. Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's where we're gonna end it. So it was a pretty long one today, but that's okay. So so yeah, that'll be it. Tune in next week because I'm sure we'll do it next week. And yeah, thank you guys for listening or watching. Subscribe if you can, and yeah,
Not if you can. Subscribe. It's
when you
free.
can, when you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Subscribe
free.
right
Yeah,
now.
help us out. Yeah, there you go.
Red button. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Notifications on too. Yeah, we're like that. Turn on those notifications.
All right. See you guys.